Alright. Don't think I have to do any fancy deck editing finagling this time. Do want to make sure that Cardboard Live is up though. But anyway, we're going to play some more Legacy Death and Taxes today. I thought about playing Modern, but the more I thought about it, the more I was just very not interested. I guess I didn't refresh this from the last stream. Anyway, the more I thought about it, the more just very uninterested I was in seeing the format. And B, it's Thanksgiving in 2 days, right? Yeah, today's Tuesday. I wanted this stream to go off on a happier note. This is gonna be my last stream of the week because I'm going home to spend Thanksgiving with my family. So I didn't want to just like sit here and be salty for another 5 rounds of playing Modern instead. So we're gonna play some Legacy. Is Cardboard Live up? Maybe. Yes, no, maybe. Doesn't look like it's up. But it should be. Update stream. Saved successfully. Should be right here. Oh, there we go. Alright, cool. Cardboard Live's up. So that's the deck list. We're playing the same deck list as yesterday. No changes. Our matches yesterday were what? Double Slow Depths. Sneak, Punishing, Maverick, and 8 Rector. So, not a huge variety of testing. We played against Depths twice, which is just a good matchup. We played against Sneak twice, which is not as great. We had a little bit of rough mulligans, and then we played against Punishing Maverick, which is close to unwinnable. So, I guess Nick's Fit, which is not super enlightening on like realistic sideboard decisions, but the more I play against like these like BS gigantic colossal mana decks, the more I really like Cataclysm. And I think like maybe 3 Cataclysm isn't the worst thing in the world. Feels like kind of crazy. I still want to get like Delver testing done to make sure that as I'm slanting my deck more and more towards the control decks, playing triple Cataclysm, like taking out like main deck Hallowed Spirit Keeper, just cutting a lot of cards that are good in the Delver matchups. I'm not just like colossally sacrificing myself, especially in the Grixis Delver matchup, because I find that one a lot more rough. Death Shadow, definitely a little bit easier, even if we're skimping on Crusaders and not playing Gideons in the sideboard and stuff, but I do want to test that. Other thing I want to do is actually test Miracles, because... Just jump in here. So according to my data, I am... What is this? Where is this? 15-2? Oh, oops, did start this. I'm 15-2 versus Miracles since the post-Deathrite Shaman ban meta. Yeah, my old Miracles data, pre-Deathrite Shaman ban, I mean, still 8-4, but definitely like that seems a lot more reasonable. 15-2 seems like very like incorrect in terms of how that matchup should go. So I want to test against like very good Miracles players. I was thinking about trying to get Patrick, to help me playtest on a stream someday, like I did with Static a couple of months back testing the Grixis matchup. I recognize this name. I don't know what they're... Oh, this hand just sucks. Well, this hand's keepable. We're on the draw. I don't know if I want this card just in the blind. Our hand is pretty good against combo already, though, with, like, Thalia Prelate. Maybe we want some, like, anti-Grixis / anti, I think I am going to top that. Miracles is trash. And if you play it, you're trash. I don't think that's exactly what I said, but I do think my win rate against Miracles is like super disproportionately high. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I feel like I've already mentioned that I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sin. It might be just Sinx or Sinx. Foothills Pass. I don't know what I'm playing against. This isn't like an Elves player, right? I imagine Elves does not keep like I think I mentioned this yesterday. Elves doesn't really keep sevens that is just Foothills Pass. Sometimes they like fetch Dryad Arbor. They have like a Gaia's Cradle, turn 2 or something. His elves were just gonna be really sad and die. No fetch. Maybe it's rogue. Maybe it's lands. Yeah, Schultz cubes. I think I'm recalling it more now. This is a lands player, in which case we just have Sanctum Prelate in our opening hand, which is great. Also, they don't have a second mana-producing land. So, I'm going to try to sandbag this Wasteland for a while to see if they like have to fetch out a Taiga at some point. We're just going to slam this Thalia. Guess it could have been Rug with like the Foothills Pass. Is this like crop rotation? Like rotate for stage, Ancient Tomb, try to get me? Or they just... Oh, they're gonna Caracas, sure. I think I'm fine with that, because I don't get to Wasteland their Caracas. Or just play Sanctum Prelate on 2, obviously. I think I just want to play Sanctum Prelate on 2, honestly. They could Ghost Quarter their own Caracas to get a Forest. I think I'm just jamming Prelate on 2 to prevent them from ever casting a Punishing Fire or, Yeah, they aren't doing anything. They're like pretty hosed, I think. That we just like kept Prelate in our opening hand, and we're playing against lands. They had to work really hard to Barbering my guy. And also, they would have to find the Barbering. So, did I feed the cats? I did feed the cats. So the only thing I'm really scared of here is like crop rotation, right? I could just like Wasteland this Taiga. They can Ghost Quarter their own Taiga to get a Forest. That also kills their Ghost Quarter, so we say still something, and then we can start porting. They can't like Ghost Quarter my Caracas and crop rotation for Thespian stages. They just don't have enough mana to do all that stuff. So they need to either like Ghost Quarter themselves or choose to Ghost Quarter my Caracas here. Crop rotation. Okay, so they are going for it. Which is scary. Respol, thank you for the follow. Or Reps. I don't know. Reps, thanks you for the follow. I appreciate it. Alright, so this happens. We are in danger of getting comboed, though. My opponent can, like, Ghost Core the Crocus, untap, play another land. This is definitely the way to get cheesed out of Prelate Victory, for sure. Oh, there's grabbing Barbering? They don't have any red mana right now. It does kind of scare me. We can just attack, though, right? They can Ghost Quarter themselves to get Threshold online, but also takes them down 2 cards, and they need red mana still. I feel like just trying to jam a Thespian stage might have been the best plan there, but now I think we just want to murder them as fast as possible, which involves probably like Crusader into Ballista into hopefully like Batterskull or something. Stage. Oh, they just have the stage. Oh shit, are we just dead? Now they can actually just Dark Depths me. That's a bummer. I guess we're not dead here, right? Because now if they activate Ghost Quarter, we can in response port the stage and survive a turn. So, but we do need to, like, draw an answer for Dark Depths immediately. So if we attack, they Ghost Quarter Crocus. Response, we Rashad and port Thespian stage. And I think that's fine, because then if they obviously if they in response make Dark Depths, then we get to Crocus it. So yeah, we just hit him for 6. So we can't cast anything here. Otherwise, we can't hold up Port Activation plus Crocus. Just don't go for it. Alright, deal. Do I port now? No. As long as I leave up the port, they can't actually combo me. Or they are delayed a turn in comboing me. Double stage. Oh, really? God. This has been quite the series of unfortunate events. Double stage means I can't port them, right? Because they Ghost Quarter, I port a stage, they still have 2 mana and the second stage to combo me. The question is, am I supposed to port on end step? Forces them to do the thing right now, right? Does that matter? If we draw Flicker Wisp, I suppose it matters. Because then they can't, like, bring the Flicker Wisp out of the way, potentially. And just lethal me. So I think forcing them to make a 20/20 gives me more outs to draw. We can draw, like, 2 Crocus, 4 Plow, 4 Wisp. Something like that. Yeah, they Ghost Quarter in response. Sure. So we have like 4, 5, 6, 10-ish outs, which aren't great odds, like 1 in 5. Nope, we're dead. And that blows. They're like 1 turn away, right? They go to 7 here and they go to 3. A little more than 1 turn. We got pretty lucky keeping Signet Prelate, and then we got like pretty horribly unlucky by the lands player just like having a bunch of stuff that we can't contend with. Just like naturally drawing with cards instead of loaming into them. Definitely blows, especially with like how horrendous their start was, and like a couple of I think weird decisions. I don't know what cards were in their hand at what points in time, but like crop rotating for that Barbarian Ring felt weird. The second stage really kind of fucked us over. There's definitely a chance that we could have. Oh yeah, we had Jailer as an out too. Do we have 4 lands? Yeah. Yeah, that sucked pretty bad. It's like what, these 9 cards? Cutting Crusader, Spirit Keeper, Thalia's Jite. Stone Forge, how did you get out here? Wait. Definitely cut all these Thalias. Cut Ballista. And 1 more card. Revoker? Mom? Probably Mom. This looks not unreasonable. Have a lot of good tools post-board. I don't love Revoker, but I don't love a lot of the cards in this matchup. I also dislike 4 Stone Forge with only 2 equipment, but finding your Sword of Fire and Ice is super important for protecting your Sanctum Prelate. I guess I could like shave Batterskull as well, just like cut down the equipment package a bunch. Yeah, Revoker's like good versus Molten Vortex, but their Molten Vortex hands are not super common. It's like the one of that they don't always gamble for because they have a lot of other cards to gamble for, and we have like 3 different answers to Molten Vortex outside of Revoker. It's good supplementary things to like make sure you're to keep your whatever your prelate safe versus like a potential vortex. Hero doesn't make flying idiots, but like that's not really the game plan in this matchup, which is why we're probably not keeping this hand. This hand just doesn't do anything. It's very like just like it's got a lot of good cards. It's efficient, right? We have Vile, like a 2 and a 3, and some removal spells. This is not the hand that beats lands though. We're just gonna ship it. We're looking for specifically Recruiter, Remorseful Cleric, Sanctum Prelate. What are we blocking, though? It's like Merit Lage is not typically how you lose those games. Game 1 is really like not how this game runs. A lot of it is just hinging on like how well you can answer Punishing Fire or how well you can turn off their loam engine. Merit Lage is like a side effect of winning. Yeesh. I'm gonna keep this. Double Stoneforge, double Karakas. No, we can go to 5. Oh yeah, these hands all suck, I think, at this point. Don't think I'd rather go to 4 than just like keep a 5 that can do some things like Mox Diamond, like eat a Mox Diamond or something. Well, they just cast Sylvan Library. It's interesting. I'm just hoping that, although we can't really cut them off of stuff here, because it's not like they're gonna miss finding lands with their Sylvan Library in their 30-something land deck. Oh crap! I was actually supposed to hit the Sylvan Library. I'm an idiot. I realized that. I was so dead set on hitting the Mox Diamond when they played the Mox Diamond that I didn't realize that you could actually just take Sylvan Library. What is this? Whoopsie. Considering this Relic Order is probably dying to a Punishing Fire, it would have just been, like, better to at least deny them a Sylvan trigger, and they untap, and they have Wasteland Mox, they can P-Fire down the Relic Order, and, like, it doesn't matter, but... Fetch, Punishing Fire. Yup. This line is technically card advantage. They have to, like, discard the card. They drew a card, but then they also discarded for the Mox Diamond, so it's basically like we just dealt them 4 damage, right? And also gave them the card selection of a Sylvan Library plus a fetch land. Probably not worth it, but... If they don't have Grove of the Burn Willows, then maybe we... fuck, yeah, we're dead. Maybe a chance I even wanted to, like, save Plow for, like, cast Relic Order, target Sylvan, and then Plow it. Could have Upkeep or... Oh, yeah, that's fair. Could have Upkeep returned Library. Maybe it was, like, actually mildly correct to hit the Mox Diamond. I guess that's assuming that they have Punishing Fire in their hand, though. Which isn't necessarily true. Only probably true. Fuck out of here. Shields are down, right? Like, unless they have another Punishing Fire in hand. I think we can just play this. I can't flicker out their clue because they can crack it. Guess I just, like, flicker the Mox Diamond to possibly explode it. Not that it matters a huge amount again, but... There's a chance that, like, if they do have second Punishing Fire, then targeting the clue is the... nope, they're just gonna crack that in response. Hit the clue as a trap. I'll bait them into using it, but... Yeah, there's a chance that, like, I get to deny them drawing a... Like, the chance of, if their last card is Punishing Fire, I'd rather deny them drawing a card. That, like, maybe hitting the clue is more relevant than hitting this Mox Diamond, because this Mox Diamond, like, doesn't really matter anymore. Alright, now we just hope that they don't have a Mazavith. Or a, you know, a Dark Depths. Or a Crossing Grip. A lot of cards that can beat us. This is like crop rotation, right? That's what I'm worried about. I feel like I want to port this Wasteland and then attack. Port this Wasteland, play Caracas attack. But the trouble is then that they're not incentivized to fire off the Wastelands, so that gives us like 1 connection, which isn't enough to kill them. I guess we're at 21, so I don't know. We go to 22 and then they kill us. We port this stage. Then attack. Maybe that's actually better, yeah. That way, if they Merit Age me, then we just play Caracas, bounce it. They could also crop rotation just for just a Mazavith. Assuming they have one. But this is so we don't just fucking die. Alright. So now we can attack. Card rotation for Maze. And we're just gonna hold this Crocus so we can like port the Thespian stage a bunch. We can actually. No, they're gonna wasteland my port. But yeah, hold the Crocus to try and answer a Merit Lage somewhere down the line. Unless we need the mana. So, cards I don't want my opponent to find. Or, I guess, like, most of them. I guess that's pretty bad. Oh, they're not playing Wasteland. Oh, no, they get to play 2 cards per turn, yeah. They still get to hit this port here. Get a Stoneforge for Batterskull and make a second threat. It does require us playing out our Caracas, though, to actually cast the Batterskull. Because I assume the Stoneforge is just gonna catch fire and die. So we're looking for Wisp gives us a window. Only to hit for 7, though. They're at 11. This is why I can't believe you don't want Cataclysm. Yeah, for the game, like, these are again, like, not super realistic in terms of, like, they don't have a loam. There are not a lot of games where they're not just, like, loaming you to death. And even if, like, we did Cataclysm here, we still also have to rebuild, which we're not actually that purpose. So if we Cataclysm, we keep, like, Land, Wisp, Sword, and they can just keep Maze and just hold us off on doing anything for so long. And assuming that they have, like, a loam or some sort of engine piece in play, like, oh, now they get to keep, like, Crucible, Exploration, Maze, and then they just, like, don't care about our Cataclysm. Or even just, like, they might not even need the Exploration. They keep, like, Crucible, Sylvan, Maze, or something. The Cataclysm would not be good here. Unfortunately, I think we just die here, right? I can't incentivize my opponent to make the token. And if we play Caracas, it just gets wastelanded. Oh, here they make it 20. I mean, yes, that too. But even ignoring this Dark Depths, like, this Cataclysm is not good on this board state at all. We can and probably would very easily lose if we cast a Cataclysm. I think we're just dead. Okay, well, I guess we're not dead. We're just mostly dead. So they did want to just eat the Flicker Wisp, so we can just Caracas it. I suppose Wisp would have blocked it, right? Which is sort of the same thing. course, next turn, they just literally, they have Exploration Crucible. Just replay Depth Stage here. Because if I, like, had Council's Judgment at the Crucible, then maybe we're doing something. I don't know what we're doing then. Because then our Stoneforge is dead. Our Stoneforge is now, like, just definitely punishing fired off the board. We're wastelanded off of, like, casting this Batterskull, so, like, we're playing is find 5th land for Batterskull. I think it's still double P-fire down the Batterskull pretty easily. What up?
I'm tired.
Hold back Flicker for a blocker and Council Judgment the Crucible. Yeah, the holding back Flicker versus a blocker was the thing that I thought of after my plan was, well, we're dead, time to attack, and hope that they activate. But holding back for a blocker was probably more reasonable. Oh shoot, I was supposed to put a Batterskull. Not that it matters, because we have actual nothing this time. Yeah, we're just dead. I'm good here. But yeah, that's definitely more reasonable. We have more. Alright, maybe we might have been able to draw something. Depends on what the opponent had, but we definitely could have like done something there. That line's much better. Just Judgment the Crucible and hold back the thing for a turn. We also have 5 mana in that scenario, right? If we use the Caracas, we can also put in Batterskull in that scenario, and then possibly like get something equipped with a sword so it's immune to punishing fires. But I definitely don't love our position there. That game 1 was really unfortunate though. It sucks when just like lands players have all the cards they need and they don't need to loan for any of them. Ooh, on the play, I think I'm going to keep this. Double Vial. Really strong. Single Vial, I might still keep this. Since we're on the play, we're not dying to like Thoughtseize or Daze. It'd only be Force of Will, but now with Double Vial, we're not even dying to Force necessarily. Ooh, the Mirror. Well, I guess Double Vial's not super great. Now we have Plow if they try to revoke. Or we just draw second land. Now we hope that they don't have a Stoneforge hand. I also imagine this Mother of Runes is just straight up not going to live. Dead. Meh. I don't love most of the composition of my hand here. We're not going to cast a 2. We'd much rather leave a Plowed, gives my opponent Azamom, which they don't. Tempted to revoke their Vial, but we're on 2 lands, and we have no idea if they're on 2 lands, so... Don't love the idea. Well, this Thalia went from bad to unplayable. I almost like... I guess putting in Thalia after is like the same thing, right? I almost put in Thalia to prevent them from like casting an equipment there. Sure. If this is a Revoker on my vials, we can just plow it. So this is fine. Sure. So if my opponent bounces, then we can at least like plow their Thalia. It's really shitty to exchange plow for Thalia, but we kind of want to try to prevent this GTA from landing. I also hate the fact that Palace Jailer is one of our keys to doing anything here, because Palace Jailer is really miserable if my opponent just like has a Flicker Wisp. We will die really badly. Hmm. I'm gonna let them see if they want to bounce my Thalia. Yeah, they do. So it's fine. So now we can plow this. And we don't need to vial in either of our things yet, because I don't have a creature to equip the GTA to. They only have 3 cards left in hand. We just need to hope that they're not going to like Recruiter Chain. Because if they have a Recruiter and we don't, we're just dead. It was just like cast Recruiter. Violin Wisp. Ah, fuck. Yeah, now we're dead. I think I want to revoke their Vial while this is on the stack. So they can't, like, go get Wisp. And then we can untap and, like, Jailer it? That's not good. Definitely not good. But I think it's, like, one of our better plans. Oh, we actually can't even name Aether Vial, can we? Because otherwise we can't necessarily Jailer this. I think we do have to name Aether Vial and hope to rip the land, though. Because if we don't name Aether Vial, they just get Wisps, and then we are just completely dead. God, Jailer is just really miserable in this matchup a lot of the time. There's just like so many creatures flying around. I'm gonna leave these vials on 2 and 3. So we just like desperately need to top deck this land, I think. Tipping it to 4, just like tip them to Jailer. Not land. Okay, now we're just dead, right? Because they can just equip there and just murder us. Yeah, I just like I don't think our hand was ever gonna beat a single Recruiter of the Guard. Which is just why game ones in D&T are just the worst. A large portion of them are just decided by the opening hands you both decided to keep in the blind. Maybe my opponent won't bounce the Thalia. Dang, they saw the line. Well, that got it off the table. Which definitely isn't nothing. Which, because now it means they can't, like, flicker it. Get more value. But they do have 5 cards in hand, so... You know, Wisp in response. If they, like, Wisp my Vial on 3 randomly, they'll suck a lot. I'm gonna take these up to 3 and 4. Hey, that's not nothing. Probably, it most realistically just eats the GT counter. But if we can, like, Jailer the Wisp, too, we might be able to be doing something. So imagine just ping Ballista, Violent Wisp on whatever. And we just need to get... We don't even, like, get a Palace Jailer trigger, because we're already in the end step, so we don't get to draw the card. So we just need to get really lucky on most of the cards in their hand and our next draw step. If we find some number of Flicker Wisps, we might be able to do it. If we draw, like, Recruiter of the Guard or Wisp. Opponent just pings with GTA. And then files on a guy. And then tries to equip the GTA to get me. Or at least that's their plan. So we're just gonna Jailer it as soon as, or still in the end step before they can untap with the Vial in case of second Wisp. Nothing, huh? I'm incredulous that that's a good idea. They have the GTA. I feel like they just want to push for it, right? Were they just worried about getting Jailered that turn? Maybe the rest of their hand is garbage? Okay, now they do this. Sure. I suppose they could, like, cast a 3 and then have the Wisp on Vial, so I can't Jailer it very well. It sucks a lot that we had to plow that Thalia. That also sucks a lot that they have Stoneforge Mystic. I think we're just dead now. We can't Jailer it, or else we just get Wisped. We get to continue to not draw cards. We drew a Wisp. So we're not horrendously dead. Only mostly dead. I suppose casting this Thalia is free, right? Because I just have 2 vials. So I think I'm Jailering this Stoneforge. Wait, they're flickering my file, not? Oh, that's weird. So if they still have 5 cards in hand, it's so bad for me. The greedy play is Jailer and then Flicker Wisp it. I think I want a Jailer and Flicker Wisp their GT. Yeah, I guess the Jailer Flicker Wisp plan would not be good at all. Still need some good draws, especially because they took my Valon 3 off the table. So I can't just like instant speed Wisps. Struggling a lot in a game that seems like pretty wildly out of my favor. I just in the mod sponsored message of don't play modern. Yeah. At the beginning, Army, I was like, you know what? It's like this is the last stream of the week. I'm gonna go be happy, spend some time with the family. Thanksgiving. I don't want to like go out on a sour note of like grumble. I hate modern and play 5 rounds and be salty a bunch. So instead, we get to play the wonderful Death and Taxes mirror. So I get to actually hate myself in Legacy too. Especially considering this is game 1 and like almost everything I've done has just been like hoping and praying that I'm not dying because I've just been on the back foot the entire game because I have a Thalia and my opponent has a Caracas and they have Stoneforge and I do not. I have this mopey Palace Jailer, and if they have like a Flickerus on this Aether Vial, we just immediately lose the game. Let's draw something reasonable. Perfect. If you lose this, will you start playing Snow Plains? Nope, not a chance. I've played against snow-covered Plains decks before. The D&T matchup is like legitimately not very skill intensive to the point where like a lot of it's just a coin flip. I don't feel particularly bad losing the mirror a lot. I hope to God this card is like Source of Plowshares that we're about to draw. Sure. Of course. Okay, they just have Banner Skull. And a 3! Alright, I'm done. Alright. Actually, I guess we could draw a card first. F the D&T mirror. I should sponsor a stream with the split. Just see if I did play Snow-Covered Plains once on stream when I copied Alan Wu's deck list. Only time I've ever played Snow-Covered Plains on stream. So we bring in 6 cards, right? And we cut Prelate, all the Thalias, and Spirit Keeper. I want to cut Jailer, but there are points where Jailer is definitely good, and there are a lot less points where Hallowed Spirit Keeper is good. I think an iteration like this is probably fine. So the post-board games get a little bit less rancid, because at least you can, like, decide... First, you get to cut a lot of your really, really bad cards, and you get to, like, selectively choose your opening hand, versus in the blind, it's always like, oh, well, my opponent kept a Stoneforge Mystic in their hand, and then I didn't, so I died because my opponent got GTA Online. Which is essentially what that previous game boiled down to. My opponent had an Umezawa's GTA, and I did not. And there isn't a lot of counterplay pre-board. How come no Containment Priest in the mirror? Because I don't hate myself. And your opponent always draws more Flicker Wisps than you. Objective fact. Your opponent in the Death Antagonist mirror will always draw more Wisps. Alright. Yeesh. Well, I guess maybe I spoke a little too hastily, but I do think this hand is kind of bad. I don't know if it's bad enough to ship. I think it's like borderline good enough. I'm gonna keep, see what happens. I wonder if triple wisp can be strong for sure. There's the fabled aggro them out plan, which you can occasionally pull off. You just like beat them down with a bunch of idiots. Oof, especially if they don't have colored mana, we can just get like flicker with this file every turn. Wasteland. Nah. Our other land drop. Could be a bait. Like they could just be leading with port because they have like a Caracas or something as their only white source. Or a Canopy, and they just don't want to take damage that turn. If you had Camera Priest, you'd have 3 more removal spells for their creatures. Yeah, or they just have a Flicker Wisp, but then they kill my Flicker Wisps. Oh, well, this Mother of Ruins is very likely dead. Surprise, surprise. Now we get to Wasteland this Horizon Canopy, though, which is good. Alright, later, army. Is this round 2? Please don't tell me this is round 2. Please tell me this is round 3. Ah, oh, fuck, this is round 2. I hate myself. Why do I play this deck sometimes? Well, they have Mom, which isn't horribly scary. It is kind of obnoxious because we don't have an answer for it, but hopefully we can prevent them from having flyers. Sure. Ooh, that's a good draw. That's a real strong draw. I think I have to activate Violent Response here in case that's Revoker. I'm just going to flicker out their Aether Vial. I can't imagine there are a lot of like super terrifying things that they're going to do here and like put in here, so I guess like Leonin Relic Warder, but we have second Wisp, so it's not a huge deal. We just really don't want to get Revokered here. They have Teen Mom once you draw the older, wiser mom. They plowed my older, wiser mom. Apparently the opponent's into that. Yeah, Stoneforge is fine. We're on the... Or, we had our GTA down first. We were also on the play, but the math is a little weird on the GTA race, because neither of us had Stoneforge Mystic on turn 2. Ooh, Manriki. Opponent came tech for the mirror. Also, this really bites, because my opponent... If my opponent has another land, they just get to eat my GTA. Yeah. would love to have a Flicker Wisp right here. Maybe they'll let me untap. You never know. Dang, they saw the line. Ooh. All right. Well, we're going beatdown time. What am I recruiting? Don't really care about that Manriki, really. Could just grab like a Walking Ballista. We already have 2 Wisps in hand. Could grab Leona and Relic Warder to eat their Vial forever. Could grab Jailer, but that seems not great. Provoker. Don't really know. A lot of good options here. I think I like Ballista. I like Ballista good enough. Especially if we draw another land. I guess my opponent has triple Rishadenport, so Ballista's actually going to be kind of weak, considering they're not going to be able to cast a lot with those. My own Stoneforges are bad against Manriki. Guess we just grab Relic Warder. It does combo with Wisp, so I can just eat the Manriki forever and hit their Vial. Or something like that. I want to leave Wisp up here so we don't just get ranched by like 4th land, play equip, GTH, get wrecked if we Flicker Wisp our Recruiter there. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take 2. Yeah, that's fine. Doing this in the opponent's second main, so we get our Recruiter back on their end step as opposed to ours. But I can't, like, flash in Containment Priest here. Get me. So yeah, I guess the plan is just beat them to death with these Wisps. So now we cast Relic Warder, trigger, target, Manriki, activate Vial, look at the Relic Warder. This kills the Manriki forever. Guess we'll just wasteland this Rishadenport so we don't die to GT. Relic Warder comes back, eats their Vial. They put in a second Mom, sure, whatever. They just wanted to activate Vial for fun. Also, sure, whatever. And now they're at 10 life versus 9 power flyers when they have 2 colorless lands and a Vial on 1. And we still have Wisp number 4 in our hand, which they don't know about. Hey, Factory. Almost a white source. Yeah, we'll leave our last wisp in our hand just in case. I think we're good here. Just drawing Recruiter and Wisp when your opponent has no answers is very good in the mirror, especially when you have access to Vial to be a lot more mana efficient. So now we're on the draw, which is more gross. We need a much... We can't just, like, keep a greedy hand like we kept on the play. I think keeping those hands is a lot more acceptable when you're on the play than on the draw, but... having to have the uphill battle and, like, the GT race and stuff, you need to have a very, like, reasonably reactive hand. Council's Judgments, removal spells, not this pile of garbage. Sword of Fire and Ice, Batter's Club, Jailer, 4 lands. Put them all into 6 as well, so. Oof. On 6, do I have to keep this? This hand is not good, but I think it's going to be better than a 5, especially with stuff like Recruiter. Scrap out of the top. One time. I almost want to top this as much as it sucks. Just so our mana base isn't under, like, massive attack here. So we can actually cast our spells. Okay, I'm going to actually top that. Because our mana base is really shitty right now. It's a monocolored deck with mana problems. Yeah, I mean, that's how we got him last game. This game, it's definitely, like, not, like, mana problems so much as we're playing against a Wasteland Rishadenport deck, and we have, like, a basic and then a non-basic way source. But yeah, sometimes you keep those, like, real shitter hands. So I don't really care if my opponent, like, gets greedy and tries to, and, like, gets Mom triggers here, or GT triggers off the Mom here. Because we're just gonna Council Judgment it so they get to gain 4 life. It doesn't matter. Taking their GT off the board forever is a pretty big game. Their Vial is dead at the point where they can, like, save it with a Flicker Wisp. So you technically save it with something like Leon and Relic Warder. Vial that and eat the GTA. And when the Relic Warder dies again here, then we get back. Then we just eat the Mom, probably. They only have 3 cards left in hand. Our plan is probably just Judgment the GTA and then try to recruit some Wisps. Let's fire this off now. Nobody, they did miss their land drop here. But we can't punish that a lot, because our methods of attacking that Vial are not super fast right now. We can, like, recruit a Relic Warder and eat it, but it's going to take a million years. If I like Stoneforge, things start to get scary. Nothing, alright. Which means their hand has a bunch of 3s. Ooh, we just drew a Wisp. That is definitely nice. Kind of want to Wasteland them, but I kind of also just want to keep hitting my land drops to try to, like, kind of play through their Vial in a way. We could also just Flicker Wisp their Vial and Wasteland them, which is a little bit greedy. I don't hate it, though. But I assume they have A3 in their hand. And if it's like Recruiter, then that play is pretty decent. If it's Flicker Wisp, then it's awkward because now we're staring down Flicker Wisp with Flicker Wisp plus Mom. We do have Sword, notably. Maybe we do want to do that just so we stop their development. I don't hate it. Just stunt their mana as hard as possible while we just like flood out so we can actually cast our spells. The Recruiter plan might be a little bit too slow. We can always like recruit a Stoneforge or something down the line, or even like a Walking Ballista to take care of like Mom plus Wisp. What would they flicker? Just whatever. My Wisp? That seems not correct, but okay. Are they like Containment Priest me? God, I'm gonna be really salty if that happens. Oh god, I hate my life. Of course they have Containment Priest in their deck. I'll just recruit a Wisp and just, like, wreck them for it, I suppose. Why don't we start on Wasteland? Because then they can just flicker us the Wasteland. Which is what I was actively playing around there. It wasn't for, definitely was not without intention. I think Ballista might still just be better than grabbing a Wisp, especially because Wisp doesn't play well against their Mom. Next turn is probably like, maybe I'm not going to wasteland them anymore. The mana denial plan does not look very good anymore. Seems like they just don't have things. They're just like not playing anything. Their removal spells maybe? Like Vial and they can't actually use their Vials, never mind. Oof. That's gonna be good in a second. I think the plan is actually just Ballista on 2. Wasteland's Caracas. So then the following turn we can like ping ping. Oh, we're at 10. It's getting kind of risky. Don't know what they would use this mana for. Yeah. Alright, well, that's a deal I'll take. It's going not great, not horrible. We're 0-1, we're in game 3 right now, which is in a very weird spot. They keep drawing lands, which is unfortunate. We keep not drawing lands. I can't flicker as my own thing. I guess the plan is just play out sort of Fire and Ice. Not excellent, but probably better than Wisping nothing. Would love to save the Wisp for after we take Container Priest off the table. I'm going to play out these Vials for the future turns. Obviously not good right now, but... Alright, we go to 6. Yes. I imagine, hopefully this next turn this priest is going to die. Yeah. That's fine. I'm gonna be really annoyed when my opponent like top decks Flicker Wisp and Flicker Wisp my thing. I guess not that bad. Then we just Flicker Wisp their Flicker Wisp. Which isn't the worst. Aww. Can we not? That's so obnoxious. Ooh, that's decidedly less obnoxious. They Manrique me game 2 too, which is real rude. So if I Judgment, I'm just voting for this Containment Priest, right? In response, they tap it, blow up my sword. But now we have a Vial on 3 and a Wisp. And a Mom versus their Vial on 3 and 1 card in hand. So I think I just like have to kill this Containment Priest. Cast it, maybe they punt. That's also like a viable option. Yeah. That was more realistic. Let me just take this priest off the table. Actually, I think I want to just, like, Flicker Wisp their Vial. Do I do it now before they draw a card? Probably. Yeah. Just, like, don't want them to play instant speed, and this, I don't think this Flicker Wisp is going to do anything else. So I should have done that. I guess I shouldn't have done the end step, because I wanted to make sure they weren't going to Vial in a 3 on my end step. So Peeps probably find time to do that. Yeah, I hope their last card is Jailer. Oh, that's a horrifying last card. Ooh. It's a good card to draw. Definitely helps the clock. Play the Val on 2 first to play around a second Containment Priest. That is also a good draw. Now we just hopefully beat them down. What's in their hand? Like Batter Skull? Or I guess a removal spell would make sense too. Council's Judgment. Yeah, nice Palace Jailer you got there, buddy. That is not gonna be good for you. I guess they get to draw a card. Guess I was supposed to path that, right? Because I don't want them like drawing a wisp for it. I can still path it now, but the Desperation Jailer is much worse than the other guy's active mom. Yeah, exactly. I could like just get GTL on this turn too, right? If I wanted. They have one. They have like the vial here with one thing. I guess GJ is not as good because they have Enrique and stuff. Let's just attack. What would this even be? Guess we're supposed to activate our vial just in case. Get GTA Pro away. I don't need to do that though. Like, what if they actually have a thing on 2? I'd rather play it safe, right? Because we also don't actually need to path. Because they have all these kind of scary equipment. Oh, there's like, don't even have a thing? Sure. If that's the case, then this thing's dead. Like, I could just get the GT Online, just really get them, but I just didn't feel the need to. Just would have rather just played it a little safe. Yeah, they're dead. We did it. Thank God we won that. I hate losing the D&T mirror, even if it's like just a toss-up all the time. It's gonna take so freaking long to do anything. Notably, my pre-board win percentage against in the mirror is like straight 50-50, and my post-board is like significantly favored. I'm 70% in post-board, which makes a lot of sense if you break down the Death and Taxes matchup, because pre-board is like such a coin toss. In post-board, you actually get to make some meaningful decisions some amount of the time. Like, the game 3 was that game 3 interesting? Game 2 definitely, like, was not super, like, interesting or thought-provoking. The fact that my opponent brought in Containment Priest is always tilting, but brought in Containment Priest and also, like, didn't get supremely punished for it. I didn't get to, like, wisp their stuff. There was a chance that there was an opening where I could have, but I just had better things to do, like cast Walking Ballista. Also, my opponent just, like, had Manriki Gusari games 2 and 3, and it didn't matter. They did get to blow up an equipment twice, but we still just won twice. Also, note to any D&T players out there, don't sideboard Manriki Gusari right now. Like, it's okay sometimes, but it's really not good in this meta. It's just so, so, so narrow. Just don't play Manriki, sorry. Play better cards. Play cards that actually impact more of the field right now. Manriki is like exactly the mirror and Maverick. And that's the whole ball game. Play active. I mean, play Sword of War and Peace over Manriki Gusari. Like, at least that's the mirror and miracles. And then like a bunch of random combo decks. Manriki is just so narrow. Just don't play it. Play better cards. Like active authority, sure, whatever. But just like if you want, just don't play Manriki. Sorry, please. Every time you Stoneforge a Manriki, sorry, an angel loses its wings. There have definitely been metas where it was okay. I think the last time I was actually actively sideboarding a Manriki was back in the blue or red Delver era, when True Name just got printed, and that deck was just so hard to beat, and blowing up your opposing DJs was actually super relevant. Yeah, then the metagame would need to like shift wildly for Manriki Gusari to be better than Sword of War and Peace, just because they're both insane in the mirror, obviously, and Manriki also isn't always like super great in the mirror because the mirror has so many other tools to answer equipment. The games don't always come down to like who has the equipment fight. Like my opponent had 2 equipment in play and lost that game handedly, and we had our equipment blown up by Manriki both games, and it didn't necessarily matter a whole bunch. It was good both games because they were going to die a lot worse if they didn't have Manriki on those critical turns. But there's arguments to be made that Sword of One Piece is actually just like better than Manriki is what I'm getting at, I suppose. In the mirror. And then obviously Insane Against Miracles and fighting against a bunch of like random smattering of combo decks because it's the quickest clock equipment you have. Also like gains life against burn. It's so much worse. Don't play Manriki. Play Sword of War and Peace. And also like you can play Sword of War and Peace. I'm just not a fan of it, but I'm just like the meta is not even that good for Sword of War and Peace right now. So if that's the case, just don't play Manriki. And that's my rant on that card. I guess the other rant is like stop boarding Incantation Priest in the mirror because like yeah you get them, but there's a significant portion of the time where also yeah your opponent gets you. Like you flash Incantation Priest and then your opponent has a wisp and then they wisp your other creature and just get a free 3/1 flyer with a Vindicate attached. Like don't weaponize your opponent's cards for them. It's not worth the, oh, what if they have a vial hand but I don't and I get to like shut off their vials and stuff. And you got like Revoker and Leonin Relic Order and stuff like that to deal with those instances. Cave Priest is just not great in the mirror. Man. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. This queue doesn't always happen. When he redefined a game before I search. That's fair. I don't know. This is the longest this Legacy queue's been in a long time. This queue usually like cracks after like a minute. I honestly have no idea what's going on. I mean, I have things to rant about too. Like, thought I was just gonna monologue about Manriki and Containment Priest until the next round started, but that plan didn't break. I don't have any. I don't think I have any other good discussion topics. What did I play against round 1 again? Oh yeah, we played against lands. That was an unfortunate match. Secretly in like the, oh there we go, finally. Say, are we in the vintage queue or something? Alright. You're free to queue now, I suppose. Sounds fine. It's like very, very fair, but that's pretty acceptable to keep in this meta right now. Like, stone dead to Storm, but we're not gonna like aggressively mulligan to Thalia's. Especially when we're on the draw. Just keeping a hand that's like good against, or fine against stuff like Miracles and Grixis and Delver and whatnot. Man, I hope this is Grixis. Because it did just loudly proclaim that my hand is stone dead for Storm. Could also be Delver. Probably not Death Shadow. Death Shadow probably fetches like maybe they don't fetch Underground or Watery Grave in the Blind or something, but I would bet on Grixis Control, Storm, Grixis Delver, Blue Black Death Shadow. And maybe some other random garbage towards the bottom there. Blue Black Reanimator, Blue Black Omnitel. Bug something. There we go. Yeah, yeah. Especially when you're in like the blind. If you're on the play, then there's a chance that you don't fetch shock. But I think it'd be pretty far down the list of my guesses. It also doesn't really change my turn one play at all. It's always just gonna be land vial, so the identification isn't a huge deal. It will probably shape my turn two. If we can identify their Storm, that they're on Storm, I'd much rather Wasteland them than cast a Stoneforge Mystic. Well, they're just gonna kill me, so. Also, I think we found out that they're Storm, guys. I'm just gonna turn 2 me as Ant. That's pretty good. How much mana is this? Oh, this is okay. This is non-deterministic. This is the Adnaz that they can die to, but they can usually like even if they have hit a reasonably bad Adnaz, they just set up to like kill you next turn. Well, that's not a start I want to see. Well, they need something else. They haven't played a land yet. Oh, are we dead now? I think we're dead now. Oh yeah, we're super dead. Lion's Eye, Petal. Dark Rit, Cabal Rit. Alright, yeah, well. Yep. GG's. Notably, Mulligan Thalia again. Like I said, didn't matter. We were on the draw. Like, even if we kept a hand that was 3 lands and 4 Thalias, we were just like, we're gonna win that game. So that's what happens when you play Death and Taxes sometimes. Cut. Jailer, Ballista, Spirit Keeper. Plows. That looks pretty good. Let's go back and forth on Council Judgment. I don't really know where Ant is right now on playing Dread of Night. I think they're off it right now. It's weird because it kind of like fluctuates back and forth. Because we can cut this GTA too. Ballista back in maybe. It seems okay. I guess I could cut because Ballista does suck. I could cut it for like the Miser's Council's Judgment. Just like 1, unless I see Dread of Night, then I could play the second. Cut like a Flickerist for 1. There's also the argument that the 4th Flickerist matters less than the second Council's Judgment, but I think this is fine. I vaguely dislike bringing in Council's Judgment in like the storm blind. If you don't know, they're on Dread of Nights. Ugh. Ugh. Is turn 3 good enough? Opponent kept 7. No, we just got like Thoughtseize and lose, right? But like, what 5 are we getting Thoughtseize and not losing? I guess one was like Chalice, right? Yeah, we'll Mulligan. Ugh. Double Wasteland, maybe. I think we gotta keep this on like 5. Oh, yeah, your Wisp. I think that 6 was like maybe passable, but unlikely. Like, if we Wasteland, then we can't turn 3 Thalia. This hand just needs to top deck Chalice of the Void right now. Just play Chalice on 1. Chalice on 1's better if you have the time for it, right? Against Ant. Like, Chalice on 0 is obviously better as a stopgap to get to your hate like Thalia and Prelate, but like if you have the choice, you play the Chalice on 1, right? Come on, top deck. We're gonna like Motobug, draw the Wisp. Surgical. It's not nothing. It's not really something, but we'll see how this goes. Oh man, should have Surgical Ponder. What a misplay. Chelsea one's best. Yeah, that's what I thought. They have a ton of 1s. The only 0s are Petals and LEDs. Huh. Interesting. That scared of a turn 3 Thalia. It turns out if I had like kept my 6, it would have worked out pretty well, but obviously you can't know that. I think I was pretty comfortable in Wall getting towards like Chalice / Thalia, going from 6 to 5. Alright, beat down time. Get him, Mom. Fortunately, my opponent can just sit and fetch basics. Or not even fetch at all. Man, missed out so much value on not surgically these ponders. What a mistake. At least maybe some point they'll go for like a Cabal Writ, and you can actually like surgical away 3 ponders from the graveyard and possibly turn off a Cabal Writ. Uh-oh. Is it time to go for it? Well, that's unfortunate. I don't really think I want to add to their storm count. And I don't think Surgicaling Ponder is... Maybe it is, honestly. They have 5 cards in hand. They have 2 mana. If they Cabal Red, they get to 5 mana here. Yeah, because Thoughtseize is card number 6. This Polluted Delta is card number 7. Also Petals number 8, so... Surgicaling them could do something. I mean, it's probably like a better chance of winning. Because they might not be killing me. They might just be Thoughtseizing me. Just let it happen. Alright, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 10-ish good draws here. I really don't want to draw Prelate because I hate putting Prelate on a number versus Ant. It's just so hard to piece together a number. The classic Council's Judgment. Notably, this would be like, what, a walking ballista, which, wow, better than a Council's Judgment right here. Would not be that much better than a Council's Judgment. Not positive I want to waste or to Flicker Wisp out one of their lands. I suppose I could Flicker Wisp out their islands so they can't cantrip more without possibly like fetching into Delta. They don't always play. No, they play double island all the time, right? It's not always double swamp. The swamps are the kill me lands. The islands are the cantrip lands. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna Flicker on this island. Just try to stall for a turn. Well, there's a chance we die. Pretty good chance we'll die, I say. Brainstorm gives you access to a lot of magic cards. Hello there. Do you want to be on the stream? I don't think you're quite on the stream, dog. Oh, there you go. Going on to the other shoulder. Don't like those tanks. I think those are the can I kill him tanks. Oh, unless the answer is no, in which case I good tank. No, yeah, we're dead. It's 8 mana, so if this is like or this is just natural ad nausea with 3 mana, sure. Nope, we're dead. Dang. Came close. I mean, not really, but I mean, it came close as in they were at like 5 life. They did need to like try to find some action. Although they had like double pedal with infinite mana. Oh wow, they just had Past in Flames in hand? Jeez. Yeah, alright. I'm not gonna make him go through all that shit. Unfortunate. Maybe I do want the 3rd Chalice specifically for Ant, or at least like the Canonist over the 3rd Cataclysm. Like just have an additional combo hate card. What's my Ant matchup look like? Five and 4, yeah, it's pretty tight. That seems about right for the Ant matchup. It's pretty coin flippy, and especially die roll dependent. Like winning game 1 is huge because winning on the draw is very hard to do. So if you steal game 1, which you can if you just like have a turn 2 Thalia, especially on the play, then you lose game 2 a lot of the time, but then game 3 you have a chance to just like slam turn 2 Thalia or Chalice of Void or Aethersworn Cannon or whatever you're on. but it is a lot about winning that game one. So I'd say that Ant is fairly even, which the stats would agree with. Alright, much better. Much better Q times. Alright. Losing the die roll. Keeping decent hands. It's fine. I want to mulligan to 6. Sounds good to me. Put him mostly to 5. Alright. 4. Alright, deal. What are they doing over there? Lands. Woof. Pretty good mull to 4. Do get to revoke this Mox Diamond, I guess. Which isn't the worst. Mox Diamond. Oh, are they on 4-color loam? I had a suspicion that they might be. I didn't think 4-color played Misty Rainforest. I guess they don't really care about their. They do somewhat care about what fetches they're running, right? Because they're like a Badlands, Scrublands, Savannah, Bayou deck. Jundlands? Huh. I don't know if that really informs my decision either way. I think I was just going to recruit Toxic. Oh, that sounds horrifying. I don't want to play against Toxic Deluge lands. I guess it's better than Engineered Explosive lands when they splash blue. But I think I value this Port more than this Crocus. Yeah, we have Double Plow. So just go get Prelate. Probably yeah. I think Misty is a tell that they're not just on 4-color loam. Misty seems really whack in their Scrubland Badlands deck. I think it is a tell that it's some sort of weird variant instead. Sure. 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 Guess the real question is, how much do I care about any of these cards? They're at 9. Maybe I'll just keep these two and beat them down. Sack the Recruiter. I'm supposed to be tagging with both here. But they have no cards in hand. They can't really draw off the Sylvan anymore. It's mostly just like a look at their top 3 cards every turn. We don't really have any indication that we need to cast Sanctum Prelate yet. I don't know what they're gambling for here. Loam? Or if this means I do want to sack my board and to just cast Sanctum Prelate then. They go to 5. They have no cards in hand. And they have a Loam in the grave. They have access to 3 mana. Yeah, I don't think I want to get like wastelanded out of this game. I think I'm just going to sack my board and Prelate them now. We drew the land. I mean, I'm happy we drew the land, but I'm sad I had to sack a thing. Yeah, so I feel pretty safe like this, considering their Sylvan libraries just look at their top 3 every turn. We have a lot of insurance policies against like a random depth stage. They could find like Barbarian Ring or whatever the black thing is if they're playing that one instead. Nope, they're just going to 2 here. They got an answer for Prelate? Vraska Golgari Queen. Alright, so they're just like a... That's interesting. Don't know how good it is. They're 2 life now. They need to gain a life combo. Was not expecting Vraska Golgari Queen. So this is like some weird, just like... Man, drawing Triple Plow. Would love to not do that. Guess we can just blow up their Mox Diamond. Not great, but like they can't just like dredge back Loam. They need to find an answer to Wisp. Was it? Is it -3 too? I could port them instead of killing the Monk's Diamond, but that's essentially the same thing. I guess porting the Grove might actually be better, because if they like dredge Loam and find a Punishing Fire, they can't necessarily buy it back. So I think porting Loam is slightly better than exploding a Mox Diamond. Alright, please don't kill me. They'd look at their top 3 cards to find an answer to Flicker Wisp. It did look a lot like just... I guess this is just like supplementary to their game plan? It does combo with like Exploration Loam pretty well, but kind of odd. Definitely less all in on like Prelate in this matchup though. When they're on black, imagine they have a lot more removal spells for it. Was not playing around Vraska though. Interesting that they do dredge. Doesn't that mean they have to keep the Loam? Because they dredge using the Sylvan? Multiple Vraskas too, jeez. I guess they're digging for Ring. So they could like cast Loam plus Vraska. No, still not gonna do it. They're gonna Ghost Quarter themselves, shuffle, plus to blind hit a Barbarian Ring or something off the top. A Barbarian Ring or a Punishing Fire off the top. It's a crop rotation also. Oh, fuck. They actually hit it too. I was thinking it's a +2, huh? That is actually pretty obnoxious. Doing these last points of damage is going to be a fucking uphill battle now. They actually, like, spiked the punishing fire off the Vraska. It's pretty gross. Getting sword doesn't really do anything because this Vraska is just going to be able to just abrupt decay all my stuff. Can't abrupt decay Batterskull, but we also don't necessarily get to Batterskull anytime soon. But if we do, it's our best chance of like something that doesn't just get punishing fire to death as easily. Wow, alright. Double punishing fire. Yeah, this thing is a +2. I did not know that. I thought it was just a +1. Yeah, a lot of high loyalty walkers that are real obnoxious. The perfect draw. They're also just like steadily gaining life, so we can't just like steal that win. Man, that punishing fire was really rough. They actually managed to just like ghost quarter themselves and then blind rip it. Yeah, I think this game is now over. Don't really think there's a very decisive way we can actually win this anymore. Could go ahead and see more of their deck, though. Definitely not unreasonable. Ballista would have been actually come in handy, like, several turns ago. I don't want to play... I want to hit, like, a 4th land before I play out Ballista, I think. As much as it sucks to keep playing out Thalia into a Caracas. Could have also, like, just not drawn Triple Plow. There were a lot of things that could have broken slightly differently. Although my opponent also could have not mulled to 4. Yeah, we're sacking this Thalia. Yeah. I think it's like worth showing them cards in here anymore. Other than these obvious cards that we already know. They're like weirdly churning through a bunch of their own cards, so we kind of get to see more of their deck, which I am interested in, to see if there's any other like weird tech floating around there as they dredge back this loan. But it looks like the game's gonna wrap up here in a second. They hit stage depths. I mean, at this point, we're just literally digging for any information. It looks like they are just literally lands splashing Vraska Golgari Queen. As far as I can tell, that's just, we've seen over half their deck. That is the actual only card. Just gonna, like, plow this Merit Lage 2 more times. Keep figuring out what's in their deck. What you got, opponent? Alright. And one last time. Ensnaring Bridge main deck. Seems like a weird main deck card. In this, like, I would expect to see like a weird one of like that more in an Academy Ruins build. It's definitely a card that's nice to be aware of. Nice to get paid off for like pestering the opponent by plowing their Merit Lage 3 times, even though we're like strictly dead. Wow, yeah, we drew all 4 Thalias. Nice. Alright, now I'll concede. Ensnaring Bridge. Just like a random gamble target because their Stage Show matchup's really bad. Just like, oh, maybe we'll just like Hail Mary gamble for this. Seems like kind of just a weird one of inclusion. I also don't know if I want Pats. I don't. I feel like my opponent's still on the Tireless Tracker plan, but my removal was very, very bad there for obvious reasons. I might actually want Cataclysm against this variant. I usually hate Cataclysm as a matchup. Maybe not like all of them, but like Vraska is both obnoxious and just in general scary. Not sure how much I need to treat this matchup differently than a normal Dark Depths matchup, or normal lands matchup. Still think Thalia sucks. I think like stuff like Batterskull gets a little bit better. Even stuff like Spirit Keeper get a little better. So these are like the, I guess these paths are also a maybe. So I'm not as excited to be on them. So these are the definite board-ins. We can cut Ballista pretty safely. And cut like GTA Stoneforge. Bring in like 1 Cataclysm. Maybe leave the paths at home, keep... Actually, I think I'd rather, like, if I'm going to leave in spot removal, I think plows are better than paths. Because sometimes you do have to kill at Merit Lage, and it's better to not have them gain 20 life. Oh, what's this recipe's doing over here? Get in the deck. So now it looks something like this. Could cut like Spirit Keeper or shave some number of moms. I have a couple of options, but I think something like this is relatively fine. Don't know if Cackle's where I want to be just because my opponent has some Vraskas in their deck. Ugh, this hand sucks. Ugh, this hand also sucks. Do I go to 5? It's not the worst. Because this matchup, like, takes a long time. I think Jailer might be able to, like, bail me out of some dumpster fire hands. I'm gonna keep this. Ooh. Rewarded. Ha! Can't Thoughtseize the top of the deck. Also, I suppose that's fairly valid reason for the Black Splash. So, like, improves your combo matchup pretty well. Yep. Doubt they gambled for the Tabernacle. So hopefully we get to, like, surgical their loans at least. And then rebuild from there. We also get to look at their deck with surgical. So what did they gamble for? If they just go land loam, it's obvious. But if they didn't, I assume they still gambled for loam, as long as they have like one more land drop, or even actually, yeah, it's probably just always loam, right? Because their deck has so many lands in it, it's like even if under this port, eventually they're going to draw another land. They also could just have 2 lands, so that's fine. They're not casting loam, notably. Ooh, it's not bad. Sucks against Toxic Deluge, but we actually have Protect against, like, Vraska, too. But, life sucks against Toxic Deluge. They could have gambled for Deluge. But that seems like a bit preemptive, considering they know my hand. I think I'm just going to slam this on 2. Seems like a weird fetch there. I can just port them off of the possibility of them deluging me. At least for a little bit. Time to slowly beat them down. I figured they were going to port my port, which is why we played the Wasteland. There's Wasteland and Bayou. That's a pretty good one to draw. I think I might actually just recruit more recruiters, just to get a body in play, and start like recruiting wisps or something the following turn. Could also recruit a remorseful cleric, but with like Signapral and stuff already in play. I think I'm fine just recruiting some more recruits. So the next turn I can just recruit Wisp. Once the vial's actually on 3. Crop rotation. Sure. I thought I was about to get Barb ranked, but I guess not. This could be Deluge. That we're keeping them off for so long. Which is why we recruited for a recruiter and not a Wisp, notably. We didn't want to get Wrathed here. Like, this is fine. I mean, not fine, but workable. Cast a Loam, come on, what's the worst that could happen? Do it. What if Surgical Ink Bayou was actually a valid option there? Deck does have like a lot of like sweet cards. And like I don't hate most of the decisions. I'm unsure. I don't know how much I like these weird one-ofs that you can't really find very well. Like I imagine that Ensnaring Bridge and stuff. Versus like the tradition, like the more I guess not traditional, but like the blue ones play engineered explosives, but they get to also have whatever it is, the one that puts artifacts on the top of your deck. Yeah, this is fine. Academy runs, yeah. So like all of your sweet tech hate cards or whatever are kind of easy to find because as you're going through your loam engine, you can mill over the EE and then you can find the Academy runs and you loam the Academy runs back and Academy runs back the EE and stuff. Like these weird cards like Toxic Deluge, I guess are just like better versions of Drop of Honey and stuff. I do like the Thought Seasons though. The Thought Seasons are definitely interesting to make your yeah, I wonder if it's Howled Spirit. I think it's probably not Howled Spirit Keeper time. My opponent has a Tabernacle in their yard. It could be risky. I think it's just time for some Flicker Wisps. Yeah, Braska seems like gas. I'm gonna end step Flicker this. Protect it from like Thought Seizes and stuff. Also just give me some more time to figure out what I want to go find. Notably, it was not without cost. Like, my opponent we ported / wastelanded that bayou for a long time, and they just like could not cast that deluge for several turns. So definitely the Black Splash does have a distinct cost to it. Are they finally going to cast Life from the Loam? I feel like we've been like playing around Surgical pretty hard. There were several turns where they just like had 2 mana and didn't cast something that I assume was Loam. Unless they like just gambled for that Toxic Deluge or something and just like totally next leveled me. And I've been playing around a Loam in their hand for just years. How does Library and Loam work together? If you only dredge one thing, then you have to keep the Loam. And then if you start dredging multiple cards off Library, then you get to like start keeping things for free, I think? Or maybe you have to like pay life for them. I forget what the ruling is, but for one card, I think you just have to keep the card you dredged because you didn't draw it for turn. But I'm definitely not super confident in that answer. I always forget how it works. Like, you learn it, and then you just immediately forget it. And then you just ask a judge the next time. Well, this Tabernacle doesn't really matter. It's making me click through shit. Kind of want a Surgical this Loam. I'm really going to be sad if they have a Cycle land, but I also really want to see what's going on in their hand to inform my Recruiter decisions better. Yeah, if you Loam, you have to put the other 2 back, I believe, because you didn't draw the Loam for a turn. You like dredge it as a replacement effect, and Sylvan specifically says you have to put cards back that you had drawn this turn. But I forget, I think if you like dredge 3, you get to keep them all because you haven't drawn any cards for a turn, so you can't put any cards back. But if you like dredge 2 cards, you get like 1 for free, but you have to put the last card back. I think that's how it works. Anyway, I should be like burning my clock here. I think we're just gonna recruit a Recruiter, so we don't die to a Punishing Fire. It's our last Recruiter. Make them do something. They're at 7. We do have a pretty substantial clock. Okay, so they do have a Punishing Fire. Interesting. So that's fine. So now we just recruit for the Remorseful Cleric and exile their whole yard. Yeah. It leaves me with only 2 1/1s, but I don't like giving them access to like either of these cards, so I kind of want to get rid of both of them with just recruit Remorseful Cleric. It also plays around them having a Cycle land in their hand. Didn't have a Cycle land, I guess. Now we have like 2 idiots versus a Sylvan Library, but they're at 6. We also still have a Surgical for like the next thing that they do. So maybe that was like a reasonable time to like just Surgical out all the Punishing Fires, because it's easier for them to cast a punishing fire and play around a surgical now. I don't know. A lot of, like, weird decisions. I could have, like, surgical punishing fire. So I grabbed a wisp, whisked the recruiter on my end step again, and just hope that they don't, like, loam into scary things. Because I can't think of what scary things they could loam into besides just the whole combo. Maybe they'll take 4 off of the Sylvan Library. Dang, never lucky. They got stage. They don't have depth yet, but they easily could. Just like a crop rotation away. We have to, like, plow it, which is rancid. I hate Tabernacle on Moto. Five mana, so we can't really Stoneforge anything useful yet. I'll attack. Like, rotate no Marillage. Gotta plow it. Oh no, I should have cast my Stoneforge pre-combat. Oh well. Sure. Still gonna hold a plow here so they can't just, like, Marillage me out of nowhere. Let's grab Sword. The chance that Battle Skulls might be better here. Copying Grove, sure. Get multiple Groves to, like, play around Surgical on Punching Fire or something now. Chance I should have grabbed Battle Skull for, like, the reason of Punishing Fire. Yeah, this is what I was concerned about. Oh, they actually have 3 Punishing Fires in play? Jeez. I guess Tabernacle is a pretty good reason to not go get Batterskull, though. Sure. Longback Wasteland. Verdant. Play Wasteland. I guess I have to Surgical this Loam, because we can't Surgical this P-Fire. Is our Sanctum Prelate already dead? It is. How are we going to beat this other P-Fire, is the question. It's like, did we board out Walking Ballista? I think we did. Maybe if I do this really fast, they won't notice. Dang. Yeah. Surgical is loam, because we can't surgical the punishing fire, obviously. Get a quick screenshot of their deck as we desperately figure out what to do. 2 tireless trackers, okay. So I'm not completely in the wrong. I just really hope they don't draw a Vraska ever. 2 Britches, a Needle, Punching Fire, so many Sylvans, Grossing Grips, and there's Barbering. So we're kind of just hoping they don't draw a Vraska. I look at my sideboard, right? I did board out Ballista, so we can't just like find lethal. I think we're pretty locked down by these punishing fires, unless there's something I can't think of in my deck. I suppose Batterskull wouldn't be a horrible draw. Standard is just punishing fire. I honestly don't know what my plan is here. I guess Hallowed Spirit Keeper is a pretty good plan. Like, I can just pay for 7 spirits. That's still in the... Wait, is that still in the deck? Yes, we still have a Hallowed Spirit Keeper in the deck. Cool. They're drawing several more outs than we are, though. I'll play out Crocus now. There's also the chance that they time out. They do have like 4 threats left in the deck. 2 trackers, 2 Dark Depths, I think. Something like that. They have 2 crop rotations as well to be wary of. I guess if we have like Crocus, we can deal with Dark Depths too, because they don't have Infinite Wastelands anymore. Wisp definitely also does something. Not a bad draw. Yeah, I think the plan is just like find Hallowed Spirit Keeper. Sure. They just want more like red sources because they're gonna start punishing firing my face. They want more red sources that don't gain them life. I wonder if they can actually punishing fire me out in 4.5 minutes from 22 life. Yeah. Rude. Hey, Hallowed Spirit Keeper. Alright. I guess we actually get to, like, win. Opponent reading Hallowed Spirit Keeper. Do they even have Glacial Chasm? They don't have a Glacial Chasm in their deck. So I think they're just stone cold to this. Pretty good. I guess they get a draw and Staring Bridge. That's their counter out. Oh no, we have Wisp. Yeah, they just like actually can't win. Sweet. Yeah. Fetch go to 1. You have no lands in the deck. You've tried that already. Hey, we did it. What a weird game. I hope my opponent doesn't make me click through keeping fucking 9 spirits in play or whatever. Thank you. That would have been real obnoxious. Alright, so let's look at their deck here now. We have 3 minutes. So, let's see their whole deck. Their deck has... Oh, crap. I didn't actually open up their exile, so I don't know their whole deck. I missed out on some info here. But they have 3 loams. We saw they have 3 loams and 3 P-Fires, which is a little odd, but okay. I guess you gotta make room for all these weird tech cards somehow. 3 Sylvans, 2 Vraskas, 2 Trackers. So I think we can pretty... Only the 1 Deluge, yeah. Only the 1 Deluge. 2 Bridges. Don't remember the number of crop rotations. Seems like a lot of, like, weird 3-ofs, but they might have, like, milled some. There are, like, 7-ish cards in exile. The Barbarian Ring, notably. Two Vraskas, just 2 Trackers. I wonder how much I'm supposed to... Like, Tracker is really scary, but the removal spells did just sit and rot in my hand. Especially because we also have stuff like Palace Jailer. The amount of times I've gotten my opponent to, like, 2 life and not been able to close, it just, like, makes me want to bring back in Ballista. I also, like, vaguely want to bring in Cataclysm. But probably not. I feel like I do want to answer, especially because the way we're going to lose this, especially, they have 3 minutes on the clock, so I think the top way we lose this is we just get, like, cheesed out by Dark Depths. So I think I want to, like, max out on ways to take Merit Lages off the table. So I think I run something... we can cut this Crusader. I don't know why this is even still in the deck. It's actually pretty bad. Grab Ballista. Something like that. Get another Plow. Could get another Plow. Well, this is like an in general better card. The Plow's better for like playing to the clock. Which I generally don't love doing, but... What if I just keep this? It's pretty decent. Definitely could have afforded. My opponent is like turn 1 Sylvaned all 3 games, and it's rather rude. Card is kind of a jerk to just like run out on turn 1. Excuse me. Oh. Rip Jailer. Don't know what my opponent is waiting for here. Especially considering their clock issues. It's not my connection, right? No, yeah, we're good. We're smooth. There we go. Tap their stage here. Feeling pretty good about how this game is going, even like ignoring clocks. We have a lot of good tools here. I had us at a Sylvan in play for a good while, though, which is always scary. I think I just want like a Wisp in play. Gonna Wisp out their Tabernacle so I don't have to pay this turn. We have second Wisp up on like the Vial still. Beat them down. They're at 10. We also have like Ballista to finish the job. Wisp out their Diamond. Kind of just want to Wisp out this Tabernacle so stop dealing with these stupid triggers. Probably his P-Fire, yeah. We have Mom to prevent like one P-Fire. We might be able to like cheese enough random damage here to just like Ballista them out for like 3. Prevent them from making the Merit Lage here as of right now. Lombax Port Stage Wasteland, sure. Yeah, I think they're just like dead there. Even without the clock, they're at 7. We just like Flicker Wisp out the Tabernacle. We can attack for 6. We Ballista them for 2 pretty easily, or like even like 1 if they play Wasteland as one of their lands. Where we're good to a Punishing Fire because we have Mom. We just like won that game fair and square. Lost game 1, won games 2 and 3. Alright, that means we have to play onward into the night. One last match. That was a sweet match. There was like a lot of stuff going on, and I've definitely like fucked up a couple parts of it. Still wondering if like surgicaling their Bayou was a valid line in game 2 when I had Prelate in play, because it's like I have a Prelate on 2 plus a Mom. How else are they gonna take Sanctum Prelate off the board if I like surgical the Bayou to get rid of? I guess they still have Moxen, right? They could have draw Mox Diamond deluge me. I wonder if my opponent, Senor Stompy, is on Stompy. Regardless, this hand's just the pits. This hand is also kind of the pits. I don't know if it's worth going to 5. This hand sucks, but I also hate going to 5. My opponent went to 6, though, so I think I'd rather get a serviceable 5. Or not. Oh, my opponent is not playing a Stompy deck. They're in fact playing Red-Black Reanimator. And none of my mulligan decisions mattered. In fact, this plow might actually let me, like, somehow steal a game here. But more likely than that, we're just going to concede. Really? I mean, I guess we just play on. No, they're just gonna like Grizzlebrand, draw 7. I can't plow it because there's a Chancellor trigger and like unmask me. I don't value information that highly. I think I will concede to the Thoughtseize, though. Or the second reanimated creature or something. It's like looting Chancellor into 2-mana reanimate or whatever. Alright, yeah, I'll concede to unmask. Well, luckily you just like never win game 1 against Red-Black Reanimator anyway, so doesn't feel terrible. Right, bring in at least these, and then like sometimes Chalice. I vaguely hate Chalice, but also sometimes a necessity as like a speed bump, or at some points later in the game you can like finagle it on 1 if there's like no thing in the yard, or there are spots where it's okay, but it's not great. Especially in your Source Slasher's Path to Exile Surgical Extraction deck. I think it's like better than like a random shitter, like Mom or something. Go with that. Now we just gotta like roll the dice and get a little lucky to take home the bronze here. That sounds good enough. On the play, we have Caracas, and we have Thalia, and Port, and Vial, and Revoker, and Jailer. I'm tired. I'm also like to experiment on whether these hands I think are traditionally good enough. I think this hand might be on the play. This is my opponent can turn 1 me, but we have Caracas, so that getting turn 1 isn't completely lights out. We have Vial to either like play on turn 1 or just like toss into a Chancellor so we can play 2-drops. But Mulligan's a 6. There's a chance that we can like Thalia Port. Alright, so they reveal a Chancellor. So we're going to toss this Vial into the Chancellor. So that way we can just cast Thalia on turn 2. Or not. Maybe we're casting a Revoker on turn 2. Takes the jailer. Wow. Opponent in for the long haul, I guess. Or they're about to just like also thought seize me, and they just don't care about this revoker. Or they're just gonna turn 1 me, I guess. That's honestly fair as well. Entomb like a Ashen Rider or a Grave Titan. Yeah, Grave Titan. We have like several draws here. That's not one of them. Still not dead. I think we have like one more turn to draw a thing. Opponent hits me for 1 million here. Could eat a zombie. Right on time, guys. I mean, I guess I couldn't have cast any of these before my opponent went off, because my opponent had unmasking to turn 1 Grave Titan, so kind of hard to beat that. It's technically correct name, like Lotus Petal or Bristlebrand there, but I'm jump blocking with this Revoker. Opponent appreciates my humor. We're immediately jump blocking with this Revoker, so the name doesn't actually matter. Yeah. Yeah, definitely tough to beat, and like that's red black for you. I think maybe I don't know, we're taking 8 here. We might not have one more turn to draw a thing. For 6. Yeah, actually we do. We have exactly this turn to draw like Plow Path. Alright. GG's. Sometimes you are not fated to win. Hard to beat. Chancellor, Unmask, Dark Writ, Entomb, Animated, Grave Titan. Well, at least it was a quick and painless death, so I can actually go to bed at a reasonable hour. 28, 13. Lost game 1 and 2. My pre-board losses are so much worse than my post-board losses. Like 9 and 2 pre-board, 13 and 4 post-board. Or no, 2 and 9 pre-board, sorry. 19. Yeah, thanks for coming and hanging out. Saw some interesting games, and then some not so interesting games. We're gonna find someone to host here. And then we will be all done streaming. Who's live? Who's alive and playing Legacy? It's just me and Romario. So we'll go host Romario again. He's a cool guy. He's like almost always streaming after me, and he's always playing Legacy, so I host him a fair amount. He's playing what? Turbo Debs? Oh man, why couldn't we have queued into him? But anyway, yeah, Romario's always on right after I get off, so it's pretty convenient. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming and hanging out today. Hope you had a good time. If you want us to support the channel, you can follow, subscribe, or donate. Follows are totally free. Help you know when I'm going live. Help other people find my content. All that stuff. Subscriptions get you a sweet Thalia emote and Thraben-themed subscription badge in the chat. And donations, I'd be more than happy to play through a Death and Taxes deck list you wanted to see run through a league. Other than that, you can subscribe to me on YouTube or follow me on Twitter. YouTube is where I post all of my streams after they're done being live, so there's a bunch of archived footage there. And Twitter is where I post when I'm going live, paper results, that sort of thing. Anyway, this is going to be my last stream for the week, so I hope everybody has a good rest of the week, good Thanksgiving if you are in America, good whatever, no holiday, good rest of the week to the rest of the world as well. Anyway, I'll be back next week. See you guys all later.